Hello and welcome to Ballon TV. How's it going, mate?
I'm back, man. I'm sorry I left you hanging last week, but don't worry, I stayed.
Watching the football.
I stayed watching.
Stayed
the football.
loyal.
Made sure I caught all the games, so don't worry about it.
Good lad, good lad, good lad, good lad. Well, it's good to have you back. Wolves beat Man City, 1-1. Unexpected.
Do you know what, man? Literally, that game. The game started before the game. Actually, I was saying, yes, Wolves have got a good team, but I looked at City as untouchable, telling everyone that City are untouchable, man. But after that game, and I know loads of people have been giving me stick for saying this, but the thing about, I know it's early season, I know it's only the third game of the season, but to me, as a United fan, I'm always trying to be optimistic. I looked at that as City are not as good as everyone was making them out to.
I think they had an off day, mate. If you look at the game, they hit the woodwork 3-4 times. The Wolves' goal was a handball.
Yeah, agreed.
But they did it last year against Everton.
I know, but I just look at it as maybe this could affect their psychological state of mind in the terms of the fact that they've been getting fed by the media that they're invincible, they're untouchable, no one can beat them, no one can touch them. I know they didn't get beaten, but they drew to a team that's just been promoted from the Premier League, from the Championship. So I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping, maybe I'm just clutching on straws, but I'm hoping that we can see maybe a chink in City's armour.
But the thing is, this might piss them off even more. That's the scary part.
I know, it's true. But I'm just trying to take, as a United fan, I'm just trying to take positives from it and hope after the shocking 2 weeks that we've had, that maybe there's something positive that will take.
I mean, look, full credit to Wolves. They gave City problems.
They were good, man. They were good.
I like the formation. Mate, the midfield, Matinho and Neves, for me, were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest with you,
Rui Patricio, you see that save from Sterling?
Quality save, yeah, it was really good. I mean, look, the way Wolves played, it's not like they sat back and, okay, for some periods of the game they sat back and they took pressure, but they actually went for it when they could. I think that's the only way you can actually stay competitive against City, man. You've got to go for it.
Yeah, I said that, mate. I said that to you before.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the season, I said with City, you got to bring it to them. They do buckle.
Mm-hmm.
They do buckle.
Agreed, yeah.
If you bring it to them, they will buckle.
I mean, yeah. Every time, look, the teams that have given City trouble are always the teams that come to play.
Yeah.
Liverpool, every time that, apart from the time that Mane got sent off, every time City come up against Liverpool, they struggle.
United's second half.
United's second half at the Etihad. Do you know what? We came to play, we put it on them and they buckled.
Even Wigan brought it to them in the FA Cup and knocked them out.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's the only way that we've seen City under Guardiola get beat. So, I mean, credit to Wolves, man. They played with confidence at the moment.
Honestly, full credit. Done well. Arsenal, West Ham.
I felt sorry for West Ham, I'm not going to lie. I thought that game was a game in which West Ham could have won.
But the thing is, West Ham were actually in Arsenal shoes last week against Chelsea. Arsenal should have won that. They should have been 4-5-2 up at half-time. Missing all those chances from Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang.
Yeah, agreed.
West Ham done the exact same thing.
Well, they've done it again against Arsenal. I thought that they had chance after chance that they didn't take advantage of.
And I think Arnautovic had one.
Arnautovic had a big one. I'm trying to remember who else. I'm pretty sure someone else. Snodgrass, that was it. He went through on goal, man. It was a shocking finish as well. He should have done better with it. That being said, I'm pretty sure, is it Fabianski's that's in goal for?
Yeah, quality save.
He made a save, right? He made a good save. I saw one where he went down.
The Ramsey one, I think.
The Ramsey one it was. Yeah.
Quality save.
So, I mean, look, I looked at West Ham in that performance and I thought they were unlucky. They just didn't take advantage of their chances. You looked at them and you can kind of see something's there. It's just not ticking. And I think it was Fabianski that came out after the game. It might have been Fabianski, I can't remember. But one of the players came out after the game and he's like, "Look, we just got to be patient and just wait for things to click." And
it's a lot of changes.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, Pellegrini clearly has got them playing in a style that's quite entertaining. It's the matter of time for when.
I think the only thing that will let them down is...
And they have had tough fixtures, man.
They have. Well, mate, they have. They've gone to Anfield. They've gone to the Emirates. They lost to Bournemouth, but Bournemouth were just on them.
They flopped that Bournemouth.
They did. They buckled, but full credit to Bournemouth. You can't take anything away from Bournemouth.
I don't think Pellegrini knows what his strongest team is yet either.
Defensively, they're not there. They've missing that decent defender. Centre midfield for me is the biggest hole that's going to be open. At West Ham, a defensive engine. I've sound like a broken record. Chico Corte, why they've let him go to Palace, I really don't know, because he does all the dog work. As much as good as Mark Noble is, he hasn't got the legs anymore. Jack Wilshere is more of a flair player. He's not one who would run about for 90 minutes like Shiko Kawate did. So I think that'll let him down. Felipe Anderson looked good.
Just
that's a positive.
Felipe Anderson is one player that I don't see staying at West Ham for much longer.
They've only just brought him.
I know but look, is that kind of player that you know he's going to be like a Tevez and Mascherano. It's only going to be a matter of time before they lose.
What, Tevez and go to United, yeah?
Oh, no, listen, mate, I don't talk about that.
But look, Arsenal, mate, they still won. They got their first points.
Yeah.
They could, it's their chance to kick on from here. I still think Granit Xhaka should be nowhere near the 11. I stand by that. He played better. Give him credit. He did play better, but they looked better when Torreira came on.
Do you know one thing that that came to mind when I was watching Arsenal, particularly in that first half? There's something about Bellerin, man. I've forgotten, but I was watching him. I was like, attacking wise, he's a problem, man.
He is, but defensively, he's pony.
I know, but I feel like with work, he can be a quality player. A lot of their fans and a lot of fans in general have gotten on his back, but I see some spurts of class from him.
Take nothing away from him. He's dangerous. He did it against Chelsea.
Yeah, he was dangerous. Man. He just needs work. I feel like defensively, he just needs work. He could be a top draw defender. I don't know. His confidence has been shot. When he first came out, remember when he first came out, everyone was talking about how quality.
Barcelona wanted him back then.
Yeah, everyone's going raving on about him, and it's just the fans got on his back. He lost his confidence. So I feel like if he gets a decent purple patch and plays some good football, we can see like the Bellerin that we were supposed to see come back.
Yeah, I was talking to an Arsenal fan yesterday, and he said to me the one thing he can't understand: why buy a goalkeeper who can play with his feet, suits the style of play Emery's trying to get,
and but
still don't play him. I know Petr Cech, look, he came out with some quality saves against Chelsea. He's a decent goalie. I think he should have saved the Arnautovic goal. If I'm being a little bit critical, he's a bit slow going down. But the style of play by, Barcelona there, Arsenal are trying to play.
They wish.
Yeah, they do wish. Cech doesn't suit that. He's not great with his feet. He's more of a shot stopper. You can't. He showed that in the first game where he nearly put it into his own goal against City.
He's an old school keeper, man.
He is, but mate, surely you spend 20 odd mil on Bert Leno, who's probably, I'll say, Germany's number 3 goalie after Ter Stegen and Neuer. I don't know why I'm obsessed with all these, man. Oh, he's pretty decent with his feet. But yeah, Bert Leno, I don't understand why he don't play.
Yeah, I don't know what's the point in buying him if you're going to put him on the bench.
Yeah, it's good to be loyal, don't get me wrong. And you don't want fans on your back saying, oh, he's come in, he's got rid of Cech, he's done this, done that. But as a manager, if you've brought a player, you've got to be a little bit ruthless, unless he's waiting for him to make a big mistake.
That's what I mean. So maybe
and then bring him in that way.
So maybe Unai Emery is probably just thinking world-class keeper, which he is, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, in terms of goalkeeping, forget about how he plays with his feet. He's a world-class goalkeeper.
Oh, definitely.
So he's probably thinking, let me just give him a chance. He deserves a chance, to be honest.
Mate, 100%. 100%.
So, yeah, I think I agree with you in that sense that he's probably waiting to see how well he does. And if there's any mistakes and if it gets too much, then you've got Bert Leno sitting there. Yeah,
that's true. But look, I mean, Arsenal can kick. I think they could kick on from there. They've got, I think, average fixtures coming up. So I think they could just start kicking. Like I said, I think they travel to Cardiff next week, so not a bad place to go, even though Cardiff can be a bit dodgy.
It'll be interesting to see how they do from now on.
I think they should play 2 up front against Cardiff, by the way. I think Aubameyang and Lacazette, what you got to lose? Mate, try it. Seriously, try them.
How would they set up behind them?
Personally, I'd go 4-4-2. I know it's old school. I'd go 4-4-2. I'll play Torreira and Guendouzi. And then...
What, both holding?
Pardon?
Guendouzi playing in front of Torreira.
I think Guendouzi, just release him. I saw little clips of him at Lyon.
Yeah.
He can drive forward and he can create stuff. But if you're worried about that, have somebody behind him. I think Mkhitaryan should be playing in the middle. Don't know if you agree or not. I think he should be in the middle. He's wasted on the wing.
I've always thought...
Dortmund, he played in the middle.
Behind the striker.
Yeah.
He's always been that key player.
Quality.
Playmaker.
He's wasted. I think Al Sturzel... They put one without Ozil, for crying out loud. I think Mkhitaryan should be given the chance because he can pull strings. I think go 2 up front, then behind that, like I said, maybe go 4-4-2. Maybe sticks Mkhitaryan in there, maybe create a 3.
They might be able to get away with that against smaller teams, but I think as soon as you get to the top 6, or even the West Hams and the Evertons, Wolves put them in that bunch as well now.
Even Watford, to be fair.
Yeah, I think they'll struggle against these teams with. I think it's too rigid these days to play 4-4.
It is, but mate, just try something new.
I don't know. I see what you mean. It works for them. They've got the team to do that. I mean, them more than anyone.
Liverpool, Brighton, 1-0 win. I said to you after the result, if that was last year, Liverpool would have drawn that or lost. Do you know what? It's the first time in God knows how long I felt comfortable at 1-0. Yes, Brighton gave us a few, they had that header that Alisson saved at the end, but I still felt more comfortable than I did in previous years at protecting a 1-0 win. Just looked more assured.
I know that this is probably going to sound rich coming from a United fan at the moment, but do you think that was one of the more boring performances that you've seen from Liverpool?
It was boring, but I haven't seen a team set the Premiership alight so far.
No.
So I think, look,
but it's nice to see that as a Liverpool fan. It is nice to see,
mate. We done them 4-0.
Yeah.
Played them off the park.
I mean,
last year. So
performances like that, like you said, you can take away from it.
I see that as a professional performance.
Yeah, you can grind out a 1-0 win and see.
Brighton were definitely a lot better than last year when they went to Anfield.
They're on a high after the United game as well, man. If you like
exactly. Yeah.
And no you saw what's happening with United.
Mate, they had no fear. You saw they brought the game to Liverpool. Yeah, they were compact through the middle.
Oh, they were willing to play. Yeah, they were losing the ball a lot though. That's the only problem with Brighton. They were making silly mistakes, but they were trying to play a style of football, a brand of football that was playing out from the back.
I think they did that against United.
Yeah, they were. And I mean, I was surprised to see that against Liverpool. I didn't think they'd play that. They were actually at times playing out from the back, from their centre back, from their wing backs, and playing the ball up. But they were getting caught in possession too many times in their own half. Yeah, and that's what happened with the goal. They got caught in possession and you got punished them for it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, before the goal, Liverpool should have scored 2. He had Mane missed one that he put just wide. Firmino, quality save. I think it was Matty Ryan in goal from the header.
Yes,
quality save. But mate, full credit to Brighton. Me as a Liverpool fan, I don't care. It's another win.
Oh, 100%.
3 out of 3. Another clean sheet. Liverpool getting 3 clean sheets. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, no. It shows the impact of the signings that Klopp's made.
Mate, massively. The front 3 still have not hit top gear. Liverpool still haven't really hit top gear. Yes, people say West Ham. West Ham just buckled. It wasn't Liverpool ruthless. Well, we were, to win 4-0. Probably the wrong word to use, but Liverpool still haven't.
You can see that there's more to come. Yeah,
but the passing was slow. Everything was slow. I don't know. It was.
I mean, look, end of the day, you guys have got a few new signings. It takes time for them to gel.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they could be playing well right now, but there's going to be games further on in the season where I'm sure Klopp's going to want to mix it up.
Well, he
has to.
He has to.
You're
so many cups now, more games, etc., etc. Newcastle, Chelsea. I felt bad for Newcastle. Was it a penalty? I don't think it was. The thing that got me was Chelsea players' reaction. Apart from Alonso, no one really appealed too much.
You can always get a sense of players' reactions, don't you, when it comes to penalties?
You can. It was
for example, the City players after the handball. I can't remember who it was that came out after the game. One of the City players, I think it was Kyle Walker. He said, "Look, we thought it was a legitimate goal ourselves." So
I think it was only Vincent Kompany.
Was it only him that?
I saw replays. He's the only one who put his hand up to say.
Yeah, so most of them didn't realise that it was a handball. So we just got on with it. We didn't realise. So I mean, sometimes in the sense of the Chelsea players, if they're not going sick at the referee, then they're probably not convinced that it's a penalty themselves.
Yeah, and to be honest, Newcastle's equaliser, the build up to it, I thought was a free kick. Yedelin. DeAndre Yedlin.
Yeah. American lad.
Yeah, DeAndre. He elbowed Giroud. There's no getting away with that. Use your elbow, it's a free kick. It's the laws of the game. It's not as how it was 15 years ago. But look, Chelsea came away with a 2-1 win anyway. Hazard looked unreal.
He's quality, man. I'll be surprised if they manage to keep hold of him.
Nah, they'll be fine. I think they've only got another two days left. Unless something stupid happens.
Not this transfer window. I'm just saying, this time next year, if he's still at Chelsea, they've worked wonders.
Well, he's dwelling over a contract, isn't he? If he wanted to stay, he would have signed that by now.
Of course.
Look, Chelsea again, 2-1 win. New players still settling in. They're going about their business quietly as well. 3 wins out of 3. No complaints there. We'll see how they react when they get into Thursday night football, the Europa League. Right, the big game. United Spurs. You don't really want to talk about this. I've never seen a Man United team crumble like they did in that second half. I don't understand. They're at home. Seeing it as a neutral, I felt really sorry for the fans. But then as a Liverpool fan, with the amount of stick Liverpool receive from United fans, I was loving it in a way.
Look, I can't blame you guys.
Mate, what is happening with your team?
Do you know what? First half, man.
Actually, let me repeat that. Your club. Because it's not just the team, it's the whole club. There's a bad aura.
I'll start with the performance, right, against Tottenham. We came out in the first half, and I generally thought that we were playing a better brand of football than we have in a long time. We were knocking the ball about a lot quicker than we usually do. Part of me felt like Tottenham were a little bit confused at how Man United had set up the team. So we had Herrera, Smalling and Jones playing as the back three.
Yeah, but Herrera didn't even start at centre-back. This is what got me. This is what I didn't understand.
Right? So, I mean, I didn't notice because I missed the first 5 minutes. But when I came, I was trying to make sense of it. And Herrera dropped into right centre-back. I think Jones was playing in the centre and Smalling was on his left. And the wing-backs were Shaw and Valencia. And then in the middle, I just couldn't make sense of what was going on. So you had Matic, and then it looked like Fred was playing in front of Matic, and then it looked like Pogba was playing in front of Fred, Lingard in front of Pogba, and Lukaku in front of. It just looked like a straight line. No one really looked like they knew where they were playing. There was no width in the team. But that being said, in the first half, we were causing them problems, and Lukaku missed a shocker. I felt like we were unlucky in the first half not to get away with anything.
Sorry to interrupt you. Should a 70 million striker. I know Gary, mate. The thing that got me was.
There's no excuse.
Gary Neville trying to defend him after.
There is no excuse.
Especially a 70 million striker.
Have you seen the angle from the side that they've brought?
Yeah.
You don't miss that, man.
Mate, I remember.
I don't care what the way his body was positioned. Whatever you can say, whatever you want about it. It was an open goal. I've seen horrible memes everywhere, man. About I've seen one.
I think the Salah one. Did you see that one?
How am I meant to tell my kids that Salah scored from here and Lukaku didn't?
The one with Watford, wasn't it? Where he put 4 players on their arse.
Yeah.
He's a player with confidence. His confidence is obviously low. Let's be honest. This ain't going to help.
Yeah.
It's not going to help.
Look, mate.
But I just don't understand what is going on with that club.
I've never rated Lukaku, and you know that. I didn't want him in the first place. In fact, I actually wanted Morata instead of Lukaku. Even then, now I look at it, I think I don't know who's better. But that being said, second half we came out and we conceded that goal, which was shocking defending by Phil Jones. And then it just went downhill from there. We tried to press them, and they countered us with the Lucas Moura's goal.
He was unplayable, by the way.
When he was on the ball, and he was running out.
He frightened the daylights out of that. Out of Smalling, especially Phil Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Jones pulled his hamstring chasing after him all game.
But to look at the larger picture, I think right now the club needs to stand behind Jose Mourinho. We can't be sacking someone of his stature 3 games into the season. First season, we won 3 trophies. Yeah, one was the Community Shield, but it was still 3 trophies, right? The second season, he made an improvement in the league. Finished second, got to the FA Cup final. Yes, we lost, but it's still not really horrific. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we weren't playing the brand of football that we want to see, but still, in terms of league position and standing, we lost to arguably the greatest Premier League team in history to win the title.
Yeah.
And then I look at it this season, we've had a shocker of a start to the season, but that doesn't mean that we just get rid of him, man. I know we're not playing a brand of football that the fans want to see. I know we had a shocker in the transfer window, but at the end of the day, you got to stick by him. You can see the fans. United fans are not like most other fans. We're used to stability in terms of management, and we don't want to see it being chopped and changed every couple of years like Chelsea. So the way I see it is we've got to keep hold of him, support him, and now more than ever. I'm liking what I'm seeing on social media from some of the players.
Just a quick thing for what you said about Chelsea. I don't want to sound out of order on United fans.
I know what you're going to say. It's worked for Chelsea.
But they've still won the league.
It has worked for Chelsea. But look, United don't want to be that club. We don't want to be another club like Madrid or Chelsea. Yeah, it works for them, where they have renewed success with different managers. But look, at the end of the day, everyone wants a bit of stability in their club. You know what I mean? It always comes with uncertainty when you're changing the manager. You never know what's going to happen. So right now, even if we sack Mourinho, I know you're going to say Conte.
Yeah.
But okay, put aside Conte. Who else is there out there really? And if Conte does come in, what's the guarantee that he will be able to maintain the pressure of a massive club like United? He's never managed a club like United. Yeah, Juve and Chelsea are big clubs, but there's levels.
Italy. National team.
Shit, that's true. He didn't manage Italy.
Yeah.
But did he win anything with Italy? I mean, they played exciting football.
He didn't, but he brought that.
Yeah,
he wasn't there for that long, though.
True.
That's the thing. He wasn't actually there for long.
They did play good football. I can't deny that. But look, I just look at it this way: the way that Conte won the league with Chelsea, it wasn't like they were playing a beautiful brand of football. To me, it just seems like another defensive-minded manager coming in to replace Mourinho. And the reason why we would have sacked Mourinho in the first place was that being one of the factors. He wasn't playing a defensive brand of football. He wasn't playing an attacking brand of football. So what's the point of bringing in another manager who is his foundations is playing defensive football first? Look, I don't know. I just feel like right now, if I was calling the shots at United, I'd stick by him. And I would be willing to back him till the end of the season. I feel like the title race, we were never really in it from the start. He never had the backing of Ed Woodward in the summer. I feel like Mourinho may have his relationship with Woodward may have broken down based on the fact that he's made signings, spent a lot of money on players, and he's kind of just thrown them to the side. And I can understand why Ed Woodward doesn't want to back him financially because of those reasons. But look, end of the day, man, it's the nature of the market. It's the nature of things.
It's a lot of money spent, man.
Look, you see, Madrid did it for generations, man.
Madrid can get away with it. Their league is not as strong.
But we're still a club at the same stature as Madrid in our own country. Madrid went through that whole Dutch period where they were signing Robben, Sneijder, Van der Vaart, all these big names, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. And what happened to them? Did any of them kill it at Madrid? None of them did. No. None of them did. They all went away and they were all world-class players. It happens, man. Sometimes it happens. You go through those phases where a club makes the bad signings from previous managers. And look, I'm not trying to back him in terms of the signings that he's done, but I'm just trying to say, you got to give him a chance, man. This guy's won the league everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, but
he's had unprecedented success. And look, I know it was funny what he said in the press conference after, but he's got a point, man. He's won more Premier League titles than all the managers combined.
But to me, bringing stuff like that,
it shows that he's a melting point.
Look, listen, here's that melting point. He's bringing up stats. It's facts. You can't lie about that. The geezer's right. Bringing up stuff like that is basically being a Liverpool fan, still bringing up when we last won the bloody league, never to win the Premier League. So it becomes as a joke, and it shows that you're crumbling. He's crumbling.
Yeah, he is.
And the thing is, he's crumbling, and it's affecting his players. Pogba, how in a space of 6 weeks has he gone from a World Cup winner who ran the midfield in that French team to an
absolute joke?
Mate, to me, he looks like he just wants to leave. He's thinking to himself, why am I even here? His attitude just stinks. The aura, normally with Pogba, I don't know about you, when I watch him, I get a bit of a swag, an aura of swaggy.
He doesn't do it enough though.
To me, his body language looked down. He didn't want to be there. He couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be asked. He kicked the ball out of the pitch. Just passed it out. 2 weeks in a row. He's done that a few times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, Pogba's always been a confidence player, right? And that's why
Mourinho's not the right person for him.
No way. He's not a Mourinho player. He's not a typical Mourinho player. He needs like a
Guardiola or Klopp, someone who manages the play as well. Mourinho doesn't.
You said something to me the other day, I think it was you, I'm pretty sure it was you, about how Pogba isn't a Mourinho signing.
Yeah.
And you said that you don't think Mourinho signed him, it was a Woodward signing.
Yeah.
I agree with you. When have you ever seen, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, but has Mourinho ever signed a flair player like that? Someone that's in terms of swagger and the way they play and they do those little dinks, the way that Pogba does.
Yeah. Not really.
I mean, he signed Mesut Ozil, right? What still isn't that type of player.
Yeah, it's not
Did he sign Di Maria for Madrid? I think he did.
I'm not sure.
Even if he did, let's say he did. Let's assume he did. Still, even then, Di Maria is quite an effective winger. He's end of the day, he does the job. He's not over exaggeration of skills and dinks and all that stuff. It's not a Mourinho style player. So if that's the case, and if Woodward forced that signing, Mourinho's probably sat there thinking, how do you expect me to play my brand of football when you're signing players that I don't want in my team?
I agree with that. It's hard.
They signed him for however many million, 93 million, I think it was. And he's probably feeling the pressure of having to play him. And
that's the equivalent of our front three: Salah, Firmino, and Mane. I think. It's not too far off.
But yeah, I mean, my stance is stick by Jose. I don't want to be chopping and changing. And I feel like the fans gave Mourinho a good reaction. The players appreciated that. I can see in their social medias that they're coming out and they're saying stuff like United now more than ever. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but they're coming out and they're saying the right things. Mourinho seems to be trying to take the pressure off his players again now, and he's kind of saying things to divert attention from the players back onto him, which has always been a Mourinho thing to do. Yeah. But he's doing it now, whereas before he was kind of calling out his players as well in press conferences and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So at least I'm seeing in terms of psychological stuff, the right things are happening. We just need to see it translated onto the pitch.
Yeah, well,
that being said, man, I feel like the game could have been much different against Tottenham if we'd scored first. Let's say
that's the thing. It was a turning point. I can't remember who the commentator was. He said, "Would you not come to regret that straight away?"
Okay, 100%. In games like that, these mistakes. Look, West Ham. Go back to that game. I feel like you make mistakes like that, and it's going to bite you in the arse in the Premier League, man.
It will do. Mate, it's a ruthless league, especially against Tottenham.
How many times have we sat and watched games? And teams miss chance after chance, and you just know that they're going to lose the game in the last minute decider. It happens time and time again.
It happened to Arsenal last week.
Yeah, it happens against Chelsea all the time, and teams get punished. And
West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, managers have come out and they've said things like, "I just could tell by the way the game was going that we would lose this in the last minute." It had that feeling.
It's football, isn't it? It's the way it goes. We spoke about United. Let's not forget Spurs. Quality win for them.
Oh yeah,
another team going under the radar. 3 wins out of 3, looking decent. Lucas Moura looks quality. He's looking decent.
I was surprised that I was wondering.
Yeah, but he's taking Son's place though, isn't he? Son's at the Asian Games.
Yeah. But still, I was waiting to see when Lucas Moura would actually start coming through this team.
For me, the one player that actually made the difference, one under the radar, was Moussa Dembele. He ran that midfield, I thought.
Yeah, no, he's always been a quality player.
He's a quality player, but he just seemed to run that midfield.
Yeah.
Toby Alderweireld was quality. We spoke about it before. Who United need like a proper leader.
Yeah.
But for me, Moussa Dembele went under the radar. I thought he was decent. Kept it basic. You know what he does? Just glides past players as if they weren't even there, as if he's on skates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, big up the Spurs.
And he's like 31 now as well.
Something like that. Yeah. And they were talking as well during the game. He won't be able to last ages. And I think did he play the whole game? Or lasted he lasted more than an hour. So
I feel sorry for him. I feel like people doubt him. Like he's never really got the credit he deserves.
It's not that he's one of them. It's hard because obviously at Fulham he was a striker, he was a centre forward.
Yeah.
And then he got adapted back to a centre midfielder, but a defensive midfielder. So then he didn't really get the credit and recognition he deserved. But then you look at Spurs. He's around Harry Kane, Dele Alli, all these boys. Let's be honest. Goes about his business. Spurs 3-0 win, surprising, but they carry on marching on. Baller of the week. Go on then, give it to me. I think I know who it is.
I gotta say Lucas Moura, man.
What is that then?
I'd rather not say.
Nah, go on.
Just please leave me alone.
No, go
on. Look, man, he done us, all right. He bent us over, and he just took advantage of that bar of soap.
Phil Jones all right, by the way.
Look, mate, I don't want to talk about
anything about Phil Jones. Right? I feel bad for the guy, but is he all right?
Look, do you know what? Let's just give it to the little man, give him his credit, and let's just move on, all right?
I don't really want to move on, though.
Who's your ball of the week, bro? Who's your ball of the week? Lucas Moura?
My ball of the week?
Yeah, who is it? I want to hear it now.
Probably Lukaku for that, mate.
Oh, fuck off.
Of course. Mate, of course it's going to be Lucas Moura. Right, shock of the week.
Do we have to do this segment?
I felt bad. I'm not going to lie. I do feel bad to give it for the second week in a row to a United player. So I'm going to spare you the pain. I want to go with Richarlison, even though it wasn't much of a headbutt. It's just stupid. Just walk away or just push him away. I don't know, just something. But not when the referee was watching it.
Yeah.
If you see the replays, the referee was just watching it. He knew something was going to happen.
If you're in charge of a team and you're trying to get to as good of a position as you can in the league, and every week you're striving to do your best, a stupid mistake like that by one player, you never know, man. It loses you the game and it affects the team psyche. And next week you're going into the game with pressure on you. I just feel like me as a player, if that was my teammate and you're playing football at that level, you look at them and you think, what's the point, man? Why are you putting unnecessary pressure on us?
You weren't here last week, and we had a viewer actually message us to say that he wanted us to give our insight into a fantasy player for the upcoming week.
Okay.
I gave Aguero for the week gone. Wise move that was. this coming week, so it'll be week 4. Who would be your player that you would have? Struggling to see past Aguero again. Reason being, they've got Newcastle at home. But after last week, I don't really know.
Do you know what? So I put him into my team at the start of the season just because I thought he was a good addition in terms of someone that potentially can re-find old form. And it was Theo Walcott.
Okay.
And he did quite well.
He scored a game.
Yeah, he scored last week. I mean, he should have scored. Was it last week? Was it this week?
Where he pulled it.
Well, yeah, he did a wicked. He shimmy and he's through and he just stacked the chance. For me, I would say, who Everton got next? Do you know?
I'm trying to think. It must be at home because they played away, so I think they're at home. But either way, Walcott. Should we go?
I would say so. They got Huddersfield at home.
Should we go Saturday. Walcott?
I would say Walcott. Yeah,
we'll go Walcott. I don't really want to go for the same player 2 weeks in a row and stack it again. So yeah, we'll go Walcott for that.
Well, we could say Walcott. I'm just looking at the fixtures now.
Mate, calm down. It's only one player.
Okay, safe. I'll leave it at Walcott then.
Mate, calm down.
I was looking at Chelsea, Bournemouth, thinking.
Sorry, do you want to give you 11 players?
No, sorry, mate. All
right, Are you sure?
All right.
Give us your fantasy team.
You know what?
Now go on, give us your fantasy.
Chuck in Paul Pogba.
Give us your fantasy. Get him. I'm putting Phil Jones. I don't care if he's injured. I'm putting him in down. Yeah, we'll go. Okay, yeah, we'll go. We'll go. TW. You said Walcott at the start, so we'll go Walcott, and he's in your fantasy team, so we've got to keep you happy. You've had
captain him, lads. Triple captain.
Look, you've had a tough week, haven't you? So,
leave me alone, man.
No,
I'm not doing this again. I'm not coming back.
That's fine. Well, look, we all missed it. No, honestly, we all missed it, and you were lucky I didn't grow you last week for the Brighton game, but Spurs will, no disrespect to Brighton, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. Look, it's all right. Look, it's fine. It'll be all right. Look, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So that's that for this week. That is week 3. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video.
Thanks for listening, people.
Thanks for listening. And any questions, or if you would like to leave a comment, we can answer your questions. If there are any Q&As you want us to do, please leave a comment below, and we'll be able to answer your questions. And we'll see you in the next one.
Nice one. Catch you later, guys.